Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Anejadekam manaso javiyo nainad devapnuvan purvamarshat tadhavatonyanatyetatiष्ठत् tasminnapo matarishvadadhati.
Sometimes you wonder how breath is automatically going in and coming out. You are making no effort for that. Even in sleep, the air goes in your lungs and comes out away. Not just you, all the living beings in the planet. There is something that is creating the rhythm of life. What is that? Have you ever wondered about it? There is something by which your intellect is functioning. Your emotions are functioning. Your body is functioning. Not just your body. The entire universe is functioning. What is that? There is something by which the mind is grasping, understanding. Mind is functioning on the basis of some energy, some principle. What is that principle? Have you wondered about it? What is the basis of the whole creation? You see, a movie is projected on the screen, right? And what is the screen on which this movie is being projected? That's exactly here what is being talked about. That basic substratum of creation in which the creation is sustained, in which the mind is sustained, in which the prana is functioning, from where love is experienced, that is self, that is Brahman. If you see these four elements in creation, earth, water, fire, ether, they are sustained by the fifth element, that is space. A scientist had come here to the ashram a couple of years back. He said, the Egyptians and Mesopotamians knew only four elements. Ancient people knew only four elements. Fifth element was given to the world by the scientist. That is the space. I said, sir, you are not informed well. We have always said the fifth element, the space. And in space also we categorize three types of space. Bhutakasha, Chidakasha and Chittakasha. Three types of space. One, the physical space that you see where all the heavenly bodies are floating. Second, the space in which the thoughts move. Third, the space which is consciousness itself. The consciousness is like space, all permeating. Since it is all permeating, it is there everywhere, and it is so complicated or difficult to describe that which is present everywhere. And rishis have very beautifully said that It is already there in front, it is in the back also. So the self or the Brahman, that consciousness is everywhere and it is the basis of this whole creation.
Tadejati tannejati taddure taduantike tadantarasya sarvasya tadu sarvasyasya bahyatah.
Made it even more clearer. When you think it is everywhere, you have an idea of being stagnant. No, it is not stagnant. This space is lively. It's not a dead space. The space is scintillating, it's lively. So it is farther than the farthest, and it's nearer than the nearest. You are yourself. Now, have you ever thought about where are you in your body? This question has come into your mind. Where are you in your body? In your arms, in your heart, in your brain? Where are you? You are everywhere and yet nowhere. The heart transplantation happens. Many people who have undergone brain surgery, a portion of brain has been removed from them. Still they are complete. So where are you? In the brain, in the heart, in the hands? You are everywhere and yet you are nowhere. So inside of you as well as outside, there is no outside to it, there is no inside to it. It's something that is so subtle, difficult to explain. The Rishis have made an effort, the Upanishads have made an effort to bring it to your awareness. So it is closer than the closest and farther than the farthest. How do you like that? If anybody says, something is so closer than, very close to you, yet it is very far. Our linear thinking mind says, hey, wait, what are you saying? What are you talking? How is it possible? Something is either close or it is far. The conditioning of mind here breaks. And it is given an opportunity to see beyond what it knew all the time. Beyond what it perceived all the time to be truth. Something more. Another dimension gets added to you.
Yastu sarvani bhutani atmanyevanupashyati sarvabhuteshu chatmanam tato na vijugupsate.
Actually, it's aversion. You have preferences, you have aversions, you have likes and dislikes. Likes and dislikes belongs to the ego. Now, ego is one layer above the being. A limited identity of likes and dislikes. When you recognize there is something that is much more basic to the existence, to life, and that is inside this body as well as in the other bodies as well. See, no one hates their own hands because it is my hand, You don't hate your hand because you think it's your hand. And what keeps us separate, what keeps us apart is the ego complex. Again, don't think ego is bad. Ego is part of existence. It is there. But when your vision does not transcend the ego, you are caught up in cravings and aversions. Concepts, likes and dislikes. So your vision remains limited. You are unable to see the larger perspective. So, but one gets a glimpse of the space which is beyond ego, which is the same everywhere, and which is what you are. Then how can anyone hate or dislike anything? The aversion simply vanishes. When you realize all these bodies are just a wave of one huge life force, the whole planet is one organism, and every single body that you see on this planet, 7 billion bodies at one time, or just imagine, or the waves, 7 billion waves arising at one point of time. Then will one wave hate another wave? A portion of water here will dislike the portion of water there. A portion of air here dislike the portion of air in another part of the room. Impossible. Not all waves of the same dimension, magnitude, force. If you just go and stand near the ocean, you'll see waves after waves come. They all come at their own, with their own specific characters. Some big, some small, but part of one ocean. So when the glimpse of this reality comes into your attention, into your conscious awareness, what is the first thing that would happen to you? Simply that hatred towards anybody, that ego-centric dislike that you had harbored for lifetime together simply evaporates. Because hey, it's the same. Any sensitive person you have had this experience. If someone, if you see kids, if one kid is crying, the other kid also start crying. As a child, we all had this experience. A bunch of kids in the play school, in the nursery, KG, kindergartens, and one kid, you just pinch one kid and make one kid cry. You will see every one of them will start crying. Because the ego is not very dominant there, or is not very prominent. So it is coming in a natural flow to them, that oneness with everybody. It happens to everyone. Any sensitive, sane person would feel the pain of others and the happiness of others too. If someone is sharing their life experience of either misery or of gratefulness, you will see everyone else also. Something touches in everybody's heart. They start crying. Tears start rolling in their eyes too. The entertainment industry knows this very well. And they make it with all special effects. Play certain music and the entire, everybody starts laughing or crying. There is no barrier in emotion. Similarly, there is no barrier When you step beyond the ego, see beyond the ego. I am here again telling you, don't have to dismiss the ego. Get rid of ego. If ego is there, let it be there. Ego will remain there in either one of the form, sattvic, rajasic or tamasic. It is a sattvic ego through which you can see this. When the sattvic ego means an ego where there is no hatred or aversion towards anyone. Again, this is catch-22 type of situation. Once you have the glimpse of yourself as part of everybody, self, or you are part of the whole, then what happens? That the aversion disappears, hatred disappears. And when the hatred disappears, you are able to see the oneness in everybody. Either way is possible.
Yasmin sarvani bhutani atmaiva bhudvijanatah tatra ko mohakah shoka ekatvam manupashyatah saparyagat शुक्रमकायम व्रणमस्नाविरगं शुद्धमपापविद्धं कविर्मनीषी परिभूः स्वयं भूर्याथा तथ्यतोऽर्थान् व्यदधात् शाश्वतीभ्यः समाभ्यः.
This question has been haunting mankind, especially in the Occident, for a long time. We say God is all permeating. If He is all permeating, why wrong things are happening? Why misery? If God is bliss, then why there is sorrow? Why there is Satan? If God is all permeating, where is the place for Satan? If God is all permeating, then there is no place for Satan. Either he is in Satan or Satan does not exist. If Satan exists, then God cannot be all permeating. You can say God permeates except in Satan. If God is all omniscient, omnipotent, these are the three identification or qualification of God: omniscient, omnipotent, and omnipresent. The presence or existence of Satan disqualifies God of all the three. He can't be omniscient because somebody is more potent than him or has equal potency, so he is not omniscient, omnipotent. And if he is omniscient, why would he even allow Satan to function when he is functioning? These philosophical questions have arisen and there has been no answer found for them. For centuries, debates have happened in the Occident. In Orient, they have found a solution for it. They found one level below the God. There they have placed both the angels and the demons. Yeah, this is an area of duality, you can keep fighting. But when you go to God's level or the Brahman level, there is only one thing, it is all permeating. It is non-dual. There is no challenge for God. There is no other for God. How is Brahman? Brahman and the world. What is the relation between this world and Brahman? The best example could be a spider. A spider from its own saliva has created a web. The saliva is also from the spider only. Spider does not take any external material. From its own saliva, it creates a web and remains in the web. So for its own entertainment, the divinity created the duality Like the director who creates a villain and a hero and enjoys. This is the essence of it. So now the director is free from the afflictions of an opposite. Affliction of the villain. So again this duality is concerned, it's only relative. So the relative and then going back from there to the absolute. And both have significance. And the Brahman is without a form. There is a difference from Brahman and Brahma. Brahma is a personified Brahman. Brahman is the cosmic existence. While Brahman is complete, Brahma has a limited role. Brahma is a Devata. Brahman is Atma, the Paramatma, the Self. And the Self has no form, yet it lives in all the forms. Like it is farther than the farthest and closer than the nearer than the nearest. Brahman is also formless, yet it is the cause of all the forms. So, I have described how the Brahman is pure and blemishless. Like the space cannot be polluted. You can pollute everything else. Space doesn't move, yet in space everything moves. Suppose you take a pot, a mud pot, and crush it. A mud ball. A mud ball has no value. But when the mud pot has a space inside it, the mud ball has a space inside it, becomes a pot, it has value. You pay 5 rupees, 10 rupees, whatever, $1 to buy a mud pot. What are you paying for? The mud or the space inside it? What are you paying for? Are you paying for the space? Why should you pay for the space? Why should you pay for the space? Space is available everywhere. There you get the point. You know, when you move the mud part, does the space also moves? See, in this place I keep a mud pot. Is there any pot around here? An empty vessel I keep here. And the space inside the vessel is what is important, right? The space inside the vessel. That gives the value to it. Now when I move this pot from this side to this side, has the space changed? Yes. If you say yes, I will say no. If you say no, I will say yes. When you move this, the space is there, it's moving in the space. The space has changed, yes, and it has not changed. It's the same amount of space inside that. These are the higher mathematics, higher knowledge, where it is not, neither yes or no, but both together. Yes, no. If your paradigm shift has not happened to think in this direction, you cannot understand this. Because we are conditioned to think only yes or no, black or white. In Atma Gyan, self-knowledge, you need a different mode of operandi. A different way you are able to say yes and no at the same time. Because you are dwelling on a level which is beyond logic, beyond intellect, beyond ego. What happens in that? That space is not afflicted by any action. Similarly, you are free from karma. Karma is action. There are three types of karma. One is the potential karma, that is the tendency in you that will make you act in the future. This is potential karma. Another is the action that is happening now. This is also karma. The third thing is the action which has happened, which has left an impression on you, is also karma. The impression of action, and the potential action, all three are called karma. Often people don't make this distinction. They get so caught up with this karma thing. Oh, karma, karma. In India we say it's my karma, means so it's inevitable. I had to bear it, so they say this is my karma. Something that is unavoidable, you think this is a karma. No, karma is action which is potential, which is present, you are acting on it. Third is an impression of action or effect of an action is also. A glimpse of this dimension which is beyond space frees you from karma. And then this has come into your life sometime or other, this experience, wherein you are saying things which you didn't want to say, but you are watching what you are saying helplessly. How many of you have done this? You got upset, or you say things which you didn't want to say, but you kept saying it, right? How many of you? Please raise your hand. And sometime or other in your life you have experienced that you are watching, witnessing whatever is happening. It may be a fleeting second. If you have some time, if you happen to go to a jail, just to visit and speak to the people there, you will be amazed to find all of them say that we didn't do anything wrong. Once I was in the largest jail here in India, of course, to give a talk there. And I asked people there, how many of you have really committed any crime? Not one hand rose up. I looked to the jailer who was sitting next to me. They said they are all innocent. He said, that's what they all say. It is not true. He was telling me, it's not true. I told him, look, let us confess. Let us see what really you tell me if you have done some crime. How many of you have done the crime? Nobody. They all claim to be innocent. This is true because the Atman, the self, always feels it is innocent. It is unafflicted by the crime. It's not the doer. And the self inside you always feels that you are young. Especially people by 50s and 60s, you feel children have grown up, but I'm quite young. Yeah, what do you mean? Nobody feels that they're grown old. Why? The self does not age. Self is pure. That's why even the worst criminal will say, it just happened. I didn't know how it happened. Whatever happened, happened. I was not in control. The moment you become aware, you know you're not the doer. Whether it is a good act or the worst act. People who have done extremely well in sports and have won all, or music, Grammy awards or great awards in the world, you ask them, did you really do? They give you a blank stare. They say, no, well, I don't know. It all happened. Many times they themselves are more amused or amazed. What happened? What nice good things have happened through them. The field of action has its own laws, own set of laws. But the existence of self, which is the summum bonum of a creation, has its own separate dimension. And Upanishads are giving a peep into this dimension of existence. They're giving you a glimpse into this marvelous, unfathomable, indescribable aspect of creation. But both are essential. Next, it's going to come in the next one.